All right, NBC5 Investigates is taking a closer look at some disturbing details behind the indictment of a federal agent who was assigned to work at O'Hare Airport.
Now, authorities say he raped and robbed countless women at gunpoint after gaining access to their hotel rooms using his badge. Our investigative reporter Chuck Goudie joining us in studio tonight with late details and also questions about why the suspect seems to have gotten away with this for years. Chuck?
Alice and Stefan, the feds tonight have under arrest one of their own, a Customs and Border Protection officer named Luis Uribe. U.S. prosecutors in Chicago tonight calling Uribe a serial rapist who they say was so proficient at using his CBP badge and gun to control Chinese sex workers that the women convened community meetings in an effort to convince the federal officer to stop. 44-year-old Uribe from far northwest suburban Pingree Grove was even photographed in a diner by one of the victims, according to federal law enforcement. According to this court filing obtained tonight by NBC5 Investigates, the defendant had committed prior rapes and robberies of sex workers. Members of that community already had defendant's photograph when the last two attacks occurred back in 2022. And authorities tonight reveal that there may be additional victims identified in the future. Uribe worked as a customs officer here at O'Hare Airport, carrying a badge and a gun, both of which he allegedly used to rape Chinese sex workers at hotels in Schaumburg and Naperville in 2022. Local police were notified back then, according to court filings, and even gathered hotel room evidence. Uribe wasn't arrested back then. Why hasn't been revealed.
This is a ticking bomb, and so you have to be aware of that during the investigation. Strike the balance between we get the perfect amount of evidence and we've got to get this guy out of his job so that he doesn't do this to more people.
Former Chicago Assistant U.S. Attorney Ron Safer tonight says there are questions about how this case was investigated and whether some victims were raped after authorities knew there was a sexual attacker in uniform and still with a badge and a gun. Can you have consent at the barrel of a gun?
No, you cannot. The things that are alleged in this complaint are in the indictment are horrific. There is no consent for that. There's no excuse for that. It is a clear abuse of office, and he is a huge danger to the community. When you abuse your office, when you use your badge and use the color of law to engage in sex acts, there are going to be countless people who do not report that for fear of getting deported, of getting arrested, of all of that. And so the number of victims are countless.
The government tonight is attempting to have Officer Uribe held without bond as a dual Mexican-American citizen. They say he's likely to flee the U.S. A hearing on that set for Monday. We have asked Schaumburg and Naperville police why arrests weren't made nearly 4 years ago when numerous women apparently alleged they had been raped. So far, no responses. We anticipate we'll hear from them at some point.
Just disturbing.
Sure is.
Chuck, thank you.
Thank you, Chuck.